Alright, my name is Cheney. I am a 215 marathoner and I run up to 121 miles. I say that just because I did max out this year in 2025 running 121 miles in 6 days. And so I wanted to talk about mileage and the importance of mileage, and the more important, mileage is important, but like staying healthy is a little more important. But like, let's talk about how I've stayed healthy this year to run just a little over 2,400 miles so far this year in the first 6 months of the year. We passed that threshold, the halfway point of the year, like I think a week ago, and I wanted to make this video talking about how I was able to stay healthy, how I'm able to handle these kind of volumes. I am coming off of a marathon build where it didn't go very well, and so, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm coming off of a marathon build, which means I did have 16 weeks where I was running a lot of mileage, like a lot. And so, in that 16-week marathon build, I averaged, I think, 93, just a little over 90 something miles in 16 weeks. And that's pretty much most of the year so far, right? But most of the year this year, I spent running between like 85 and 90. That's like my sweet spot where I can comfortably run every single week without feeling burnt out or like exhausted and stuff like that. That's comfortable to me, right? And so let's talk about how I stay healthy to running these kind of volumes of training. This can be different. Don't look at my mileage and be like, hey, I want to run what he's running. Because yes, I ran just a little over 2,400 miles this year, and I'm on pace to run about 4,900 miles this year, which would be about 600 miles more than I have in the past few years. The most I ever ran is 2023. I ran, I think, like 4,300. 2024, I ran like 3,900. I was injured for about 2-3 months in 2024. And so my most successful year of running is not even the first 6 months of this year, right? Like I'm saying I ran this many miles, but I didn't race a lot. I was just trying to get in shape, and I don't like to race unless I'm fully ready. But that's not the attitude to have when it comes to running, right? You should race into fitness. But yeah, I ran 2,400 miles, not the fittest I've ever been in, not the healthiest I've been in either. I have like right now I'm having like hip flexor issues I'm trying to work through, but it doesn't really necessarily stop me from running. But actually, let's answer a few. Oh no, there's a beat outside. It says strength training and fueling. Just imagine I just cut into that, right? I'm just gonna say it, strength training and fueling, and I'm gonna cut into a day where I'm in the weight room. Okay, just finished weights. I lift weights pretty much every Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe some Saturdays. Back in the day, when I was coaching myself, I used to lift really heavy every Tuesday, every Thursday. Now it's more of in moderation. There are days where I go hard. There are days there's not point to go hard. And so, yeah, today was just lightweight, but a lot of reps, you know? Yeah. The best time to add weights is when you're already fatigued. That was the previous question. And the days you're the most fatigued are workout days. And so your body's not gonna know that a little bit of extra stress adding to it. And so I like to do it. Some of the best athletes in the world do it. We do workout, weights, sauna. We do all the physically demanding things on our workout days. And so it's the philosophy is your hard days hard, your easy days easy. As simple as that. Just tips if you're struggling with getting higher mileage. This is one of the dumbest answers I can give you, but it's truly the secret to just getting higher mileage is consistency. I've been tracking my mileage since 2020. For those of you that don't know, I started my first few years of college pretty much injury prone, right? I was struggling with a lot of Achilles problems and eventually figured out why I was having a lot of Achilles problems because I had a partial tear in my Achilles. And so I spent my first 2 years of college getting surgeries to repair my Achilles, this and that. And so after that, I decided that I want to track my mileage because I want to keep myself accountable. Back in the day, I was just running probably like 60, 70 miles a week. Don't know, could have been 50, could have been 80. Wasn't really tracking it. I would just run. Our coach would tell us, go run 10 miles. We just go run 10 miles. And so I wasn't really tracking myself. And so 2020, I ran literally, I think maybe like 60, 70 miles the entire year, coming back from surgery. And so, yeah, I gradually built up my mileage. I spent about a year and a half running 70 miles a week. Literally, like my body could not go anymore. Like I would get hurt the moment I would go like 75. And so, being consistently adequate. Like you find a mileage that works for you and just do that. Stay healthy for a year and then maybe increase your mileage. There's no point. There's the 10% rule. Everyone talks about increasing mileage 10% year on year. And it's true. If you can stay healthy running 70 miles a week, next year, increase by 10%, that's 7 more miles. And so you can go between 77 and 80. And if you feel healthy, another 10%. And so this rule really is great for freshmen, like freshmen in high school or freshmen in college. Let's just say freshmen in college, you're running like 50 miles a week. Your sophomore year, your coach will probably expect you to be closer to 55 to 60 maybe. And then the 10% rule doesn't apply to you when you're in the lower end, but the higher end you get, it does apply a little more. And so yeah, freshman year, I ran like 70 miles a week. My sophomore year, I ran 70 miles a week. It took me a while to get in the 80s. My junior year, finally, I broke that 85, right? And then my senior year is when I truly pushed the threshold, right? I went to Alamoso, Colorado to train with some of my buddies out there. And so that was the summer I really just, all I was doing is eat, sleep, poop, and run. And so it's easy to run 100 miles a week when you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything. And so I got back to college, and I got back to school, and I tried to do the same lifestyle, same training, and it's practically impossible because I was working like 15, 20 miles. I was working 15, 20 miles. I was working 15 to 20 hours a week and trying to run 100 miles a week, trying to do school. It was pretty hard. And so you have to know the stress that you're putting your body on. And so running 100 miles a week with school, work is pretty hard. And so you would have to know the stress you're putting on your body. Cheapest foods to eat. I hate that question because the two things I don't cheap out on, it doesn't really matter what it is. These two things I will never cheap out on: running shoes and food. Those are the two things that you need to stay healthy. And so and if you are strapped for cash and can't really afford to eat, there's simple meals. You can eat carbs and just like pasta, dirt cheap. And so that's what I got. I try to eat quality foods because my body's a temple, is what I want to say. How to stop getting over slow times after training, the best you ever have. You just have to think about it. It's just accumulation, and then it's all about building momentum. Like I said in my last video, yes, the time is slow, but it's the momentum that you're building to get to the next time. And so that's the point. You gotta have short-term, long-term goals, and because the long-term goal can be very daunting. And if you have short-term goals, it's easier to get to that short-term goal. It's just a stepping stone to get to the larger goal. And so, yeah, the time might be slow now, but it might not be that. You look back, and you're like, wow, my freshman year, I don't think I would have been able to get here. It's the same attitude that I had. In 2024, I didn't qualify for the trials. I thought it was one of the hardest things in the world. And then I started training for it, and I'm like, well, it's not out of the book. And then I ran a half marathon. I'm like, well, 2:18 seems like a lot easier now. And then, yeah, I ran 2:16 in my debut. How to avoid overtraining? I can't answer that one. I wish I had the right answer for you for that one. I just have a coach, have an advisor, have a buddy or somebody that's knowledgeable about running, and enjoy what you do. I think if you truly enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to get overtrained. And when you're done training for a certain race, probably take the necessary break to be able to mentally and physically reset. I talked about in my last YouTube video, is about running is very physical and very mental. And so you have to be mentally and physically at 100% on race day, right? And so once you finish the race, you are 100% exhausted, you physical and mentally. And so you have to give yourself time to fully reset, right? And so that's That's what I got. Like you have to be able to give yourself the necessary time, and that even if that is like in season, if let's say like this is like your third cross country race of the season, and you have 3 more to go, take 72 hours off. Like not from running, but like not thinking about running. Right? You go up, you wake up, go run with your buddies. Don't think about it. Okay? Take your watch off. Like don't think about running. Don't wear running clothes. Don't talk about running with your friends. Just forget that part of your life. And just the more of that you do, I think the better it will be. What do you do if you want to try long run fueling? This one's different just because we are spoiled in the state of Utah. We do have a bottle boy that carries our bottles with us. He pretty much gives us our bottles every 3 miles to drink on our long runs. But for those people that don't have the luxury of that, okay, when I was first training for a marathon, I would do workouts around the track. I would do workouts around my neighborhood where I would do 3 mile loops, and I would grab my bottle, drink it, drop it off, run another 3 miles, drink it, drop it. Like, so you gotta get creative, right? That's just being a sub-elite, right? You have to be able to learn, even if you're a sub-elite in a race, you gotta learn how to feel yourself. If you're not gonna feel yourself using the feeling that it is provided on the race. Let's say if you're running a first marathon and you're not given race bottles, you have to take that into your own hands. You'd be like carrying gels in your pocket and then taking the aid station water and Gatorade. And so, yeah, that's a tip I got for you. But yeah, let's take a little brain break and just hop into a workout. You know, we all love a good workout, and so enjoy this workout. I am training for a fast 10K in the state of Utah. I am the defending champ at the Des News 10K, and you know, baby, I've been saying this for the last week. And last year I won the race running 27:59. 58, something like that. I barely broke some 28. It's like a net downhill course. I told everybody that this year I'm going on sub 4, right? Last year I went on 406, might have been between 406 and 408. I was 2 flat through 800. So, stay tuned for that video, man. That video is gonna be wild.
Morning, people. Today is Thursday, so which means the second workout of the week. And so yeah, today we have, I believe, 5 times a mile, starting at 10K pace and running down to 5K pace. I think I can run on the track. I think I can run between 4:30 and 4:35 per mile on the track. That's what I'd like to believe. And then I think for the 5K, I think I can run between 4:20 and 4:25. And so those are the paces we're shooting for today. There's 5 of those mile repeats. And so I would like to start at 4:35 and work down to ideally 4:20, but low 4:20s, mid 4:20s I'm okay with. So there's only 5 of them. I actually don't know the rest. If the rest is short, then it's gonna be a grind, but I have a feeling the rest is 3 to 4 minutes. And so yeah, let's get after it today.
I said I'm sorry that I just think you're so cool.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Hit the splits. They didn't come super easy, but you know, got a little just it's a little bit of work in. You don't have to do anything special a couple days out from a race.
How was your workout?
Best workout of the year.
Literally every single workout.
Every single workout. Yeah, I'm in that groove where every workout's the best.
How fast did you end up running?
4:44 was my last mile. How about you?
Best workout of the year.
What'd you end up running?
4 times a mile, 4:29 average.
Nice. Really good. Crushing it.
How fast did you run?
Yeah, last one was 4:44. We started 5:04, 4:59, 4:54, 4:53, 4:44. No, it was good. And we started out a little more conservative, I think, which helped. Like,
Yeah.
But
4:44?
Then we were able to get 5. Yeah, 4:44.
What's the master's record?
4:45.
You just broke it at altitude.
I broke the master's record at altitude in practice. Yeah, not too bad. Good day. Take it.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I wanted to put this out before the Des News race, and it looks like it's all highs of the last couple months. It hasn't. It's been a lot of lows. The last couple weeks hasn't been the greatest either. Post Des News, I got a leg infection like a week later, the next week, and I was put out from running for a few days because it just hurt every step to run. And from there, I just had overall body fatigue and muscle fatigue and the mental side of everything. And so I show a lot of the highlights of my running career. I rarely ever show the low moments of my running career, and which I need to do a better job, right? That's what comes with running, right? There's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows. And what makes the highs so much better and so much more bittersweet is because of knowing the low points. And winning Des News was probably one of the highest, most accomplished thing I've done this year so far. I've had a lot of lows, from getting sick a week before my marathon and then not finishing the marathon race. And yeah, it's just, I built up such a big volume of training, and I had good momentum, good trajectory going into 2025, because now in about a few days, not even a few days, in a couple weeks, the OTQ opens up, right? The Olympic trial standard for 2028 Olympics begins, and you're gonna see a lot of YouTubers, a lot of runners posting about it, talking about how they want to achieve the 2:16 mark, right? If you guys already know, I'm a 2:15 marathoner, so technically I have it, but it's not a guarantee. I still have to go chase it, right? And so I plan on doing that, right? I plan on doing something like that later this year, chasing it. I want to make it more of an announcement later on in the year. And so let's finish off the rest of the video with answering a few more questions that I got a lot of the exact same questions multiple times, just phrased differently. And so I think I answered a good chunk of the questions. And if you have any more questions, I will make a follow-up, or I'll just answer them throughout the videos and later on the videos. And so just leave them in the comments and I'll let you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy watching it, and I'll see you next time. I'll see you hopefully before the next race. Hopefully. It might not be, but hopefully.